Alright, what's up everybody? Omega's back, baby, and ready with part 2 of the Big 3 Analysis series. And today, we dive into Bleach and how it fares against the others. Now, I actually heard about Bleach long before I actually watched it. I even plowed through subbed episodes before watching it in English. While I enjoyed it for a lot longer than Naruto, the series has put me off for a while now, and it's by time that I actually got to talking about it. Unlike Naruto, Bleach's success as a series started off very slow rather than having a quick booming success. This approach works well in its favor as it gives us time to be introduced to the cast and get to know them pretty well before jumping into anything serious. Unlike how Naruto and his team were thrown into the Lion's Den during the very first major arc of the series. By the time that the Soul Society arc begins, we as the viewers have become invested in what happens to Ruki and the rest of the cast, which makes the fighting all the more intense, as Ichigo and the gang have everything to lose. This arc actually does demonstrate where Kubo is strongest. His greatest strength is creating side characters who are just as endearing and iconic as the main characters themselves, and maybe even more so. He doesn't forget about them so much as he's constantly thinking about what to do with his characters at different points, continuously adding on instead of letting cast members disappear into the background. This continues on even into the more disappointing parts of the show. The show is known for having a much more active female cast, for instance, for which Naruto is sorely lacking by comparison. We see far more female Shinigami taking part in the action than we do in Naruto, and with them actually being successful. This actually does reflect a difference in audience. Naruto's strong male cast and weaker female cast is more conducive to a heavily female, yaoi-loving fan base, where Bleach attracts more male viewers who are more into heterosexual relationships among the characters. This is also seen in how the male cast treats the female cast in each show. In Naruto, men either fawn over the women or ignore them completely, whereas in Bleach, it tends to take more of a realistic approach. The men are more shy and reserved around women, but don't act like they don't matter unless that's how the character treats everyone around them. But Bleach is not without its problems. The show is downright infamous for how many filler episodes there are and how terrible they can be at their worst. The audience is inundated with this shit right after the Soul Society arc, and it never stops. Some filler plots last as long as full-fledged story arcs, and then after a long wait for some canon material, the next 3 arcs are copies of the Soul Society arc in structure and premise. I would love to go into detail about this aspect, but I do believe Why the Ruler of Time said all that needed to be said on the subject in his Bleach analysis. Check out his video on either Blip TV or thatguywiththeglasses.com for more info. However, I will discuss why the Aizen arcs are bad, and oh, are they bad. First off, most of the big fights that Kubo had been building up to for a while, namely Ichigo versus Grimmjow and Ulquiorra, are finished with some of the biggest cop-outs in the show's entire run. The fights with the final 3 Espada are not only disappointingly bad, but end in the worst possible ways imaginable, and Yami, the weakest and single most hated Espada member, becomes the strongest when he uses his Resurrection. But the big daddy of them all has to be Aizen himself. The only word I can use to describe the guy accurately is troll. No matter what someone does, he either knows about it or had a plan in place to make sure whatever action was taken was absolutely useless. When you think he can't get any more broken, he has a new form, or he breaks the fucking rules of the Bleach universe to fit his needs. And he does it all while smiling mockingly the whole time. If there was anything that helped kill Bleach, it was Aizen. In conclusion, Bleach was a series that started off great, and then crashed and burned right after reaching its peak. I hear the manga is doing well, but considering that I deal mainly with anime, this has no bearing on my decision. I give Bleach a C-. Bleach's decline was actually rather steady, unlike Naruto's sharp drop-off at the beginning arcs of Shippuden. However, I can say that it's still salvageable. If Bleach gets another season, I can only hope that things go a lot better. Stay tuned for next time, as we dive into One Piece in the final section of the Big 3 Analysis series. This is Omega, and I'll be seeing you guys later.